Folks, we are live. Welcome, as I say this, a fly was flying by my face. Lovely.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Well, you're probably best not saying it. But in any case, welcome to Gamers Health. I am Eric Tenkar. This is my better half, nearly 7 full days a week. Except when I'm with Bad Mike, then he's like my better half for that, like 2 hours of recording on Wednesday night.
There's another better half.
Yeah, it's like having a work spouse. Mike's my work spouse on Wednesday nights. Folks, welcome to Gamers Health. Rach and I, we like doing this on a weekly basis. It's not just because we let the information out to you, but it allows us to, I guess, reinforce our own learning experiences. So by doing so, keep us from lying to ourselves, right? I mean, that's often the best way to handle it, right? So, Rach and I both had doctor's appointments this week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do yours first, or I'll do mine? You do yours.
Okay. Well, I went to primary care with the provider for the first time. I mean, I've had primary care before, but I was connected to a new provider, and he was very good. However, while I was there, they weighed and measured me, and of course, I was like, "Oh God," and rightly so. Apparently, I've lost an inch off of my height, and I'm only 50. So
when we refer to shrinkage, this is not the shrinkage that most men refer to when they jump into a cold pool or the ocean.
Yes.
And we're like, I'm suffering from shrinkage. No, this is not that kind of shrinkage.
This is a different kind of shrinkage where I guess your bones settle, and I guess it's gravity too. Like they compress down. And that's why as we age, we lose height. So yeah, I guess I was 5'1.5", and for a long time I just kept on claiming 5'2", because I was 5'2" at one point, I thought. And so I am now 5'1.5".
See, I'm afraid to find out.
And it was funny, right? Because when I was saying to you about the other provider, the ortho provider, he said, "How tall are you?" I said, "I think I'm about 5'2", and he said,
"Really?
I don't think you are."
I'm good at judging this shit. And, you might be off by
he never measured me there, and so like when I got measured in the doctor's office like a child.
Please step on the scale.
This is what we found. Yep. Yeah, I am definitely not 5'2".
I always thought I was 5'8" until I became a cop,
and
they told me I was 5'9". And maybe they were rounding that up, but I'm going to guess that at the age of nearly 54, I'm 54 later on this month, then I'll probably be 58, 5'8" generously. But who's counting, right? At this age, do you really care? Not as much as you used to.
No. Not as much as when we were little kids and we were like, "Oh, I'm going to be tall,"
Yes. Our niece. She is 10. She is probably about 3 inches shorter than you.
Yeah, I think she's 4'9".
She's catching right up.
Yeah, and her feet are the same size as mine now.
So we saw her. Actually, she came over last night. Today is, if I'm a hobbit, then today would be my not birthday celebration. My birthday is actually 2 weeks from yesterday, but my family's all going to be scattered, so it was like, we'll celebrate 2 weeks early, which is fine. So that leads to, I'm drinking wine, and it's not Ommegang wine, but I'm using my Game of Thrones glass, which came with
that's how you said Ommegang.
A nice beer a while back.
Mm-hmm. And that's made in New York State, isn't it?
Yes.
Ommegang.
It's not the height; it's the quality of life. Thank you. So, my brother-in-law works in the liquor industry out here in New York for a distributor, and he got me one Pinot Noir and one Cabernet Sauvignon
from Life
Vine. So now here's the thing with Life Vine, folks. I don't know if
Do you
can
see the yoga lady on there? Each bottle has a different yoga pose, a different person in a yoga pose on it.
That's not why I like this. Okay?
I thought it was so neat. I was like, I love the art on it.
Rach can have all the empty bottles that she wants.
Maybe we can make a lamp out of it.
This is zero sugar. Now it's not zero carbs. A serving, a 5-ounce serving, has 124 calories, 3.8 carbs. All right, so that's a pretty good. If you are diabetic, or if you're on a low carb diet, if you're trying to watch your carbs, that certainly helps. However, when I got that also in a Cabernet Sauvignon, he also gave me a bottle of Pure. Pure comes in a red and it comes in a white. It's from Italy. So here, listen to these stats. Calories in a 5-ounce glass, 81. So that's 1/3 less calories than the Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's got zero carbs.
Oh, so it's less calories than the Life Vines.
And zero carbs. So these are if you are if you're a type 2 or a type 1 diabetic and you are looking to put wine into your diet and you're trying not to blow out your carbs. I actually find that a red wine, even not a low carb red wine, is good for my blood sugar. A glass or two at night seems to bring my blood sugar down.
Well, it's something that we monitor when you have a few glasses.
Literally so that monitor with the glucose.
Freestyle Libre.
So it's just little things you can do. Now, something else. We wanted to do the garden special today.
Yeah, we're so sorry. We just have really crappy weather here.
Yeah, and now here's the other thing, too. Now, when we do the garden special, it'll probably, I'm going to say, Rich, at this point, have to be at 7 o'clock. You have good sunlight.
Yeah, I'm looking out.
Because it's almost 8:10 right now. It is dark outside. It's a little bit darker than usual because the skies are overcast. It's been spitting off and on today. But here's the thing. We actually picked a few things today. We picked some tomatoes. Now, the tomatoes that we picked were cherry and grape. The grape tomatoes were so large, they didn't make me think they were grape tomatoes anymore. I thought they were like pear tomatoes. They were really
plum tomatoes.
Or plum tomatoes. Yeah, they were really huge. I like the grape tomatoes. They're very meaty for their size. So I'm looking forward to it. We should have a couple coming. We should have a good crop coming this week. I'm gonna have to get buy some salad lettuce because we got a lot of fresh tomatoes to put into it. We picked some cucumbers today, and we picked some beans. Now for the cucumbers, I should have brought the pickles over, but this is the pickling spice that we've used. It is Marshall's Creek Spices. I'm pretty sure I got this on Amazon. I wouldn't expect I got it anywhere else. It's real simple, the process to make pickles with this. Aside from cleaning and cutting your pickles, and in the case of our pickles, that means just like rubbing those little bumps off. So it's like
right, because ours are grown in our yard.
Yeah. So they have like those like little nubbies. You rub them off. And the recipe calls for 2 cups of vinegar, 2 cups of water, and then 2 tablespoons of pickling spice. No salt, no sugar, no additives. So listen, you know what you're putting into yourself. The ingredient list here is actually pretty good. The only other things
you add are onion and garlic.
And I do that because I don't call for it, but I added onion and garlic. Both sliced and crushed. But also I have some really good onion and garlic powder that Blue Rooster, Glenn Hallstrom's wife, Becky, she sells this stuff. I believe you can find it on Amazon. It is the best onion and garlic powder, bar none.
Forget it.
I
So
cook a
good.
lot these days. It is very aromatic. It is very tasty. You really, you can't beat it. Clover, my tomatoes, they just started turning now. And, usually by this point in the year, they've started to turn earlier for me. I think, just around July 4th, I'm picking some tomatoes. The plants have been growing like they're wild. Now, here's something that I have to do next week. I'll do this probably Monday. I have some pepper plants that I have to transplant. And I have to transplant them because although they are technically doing okay, they're really not growing much. They're kind of stunted because they're getting crowded out by the tomato plants in the earth boxes. But I'm going to transplant them out, and I'm going to move them to the raised bed in the back. Now, the raised bed...
Give them a chance to...
Yeah. Because I have some late planted cucumber plants that just aren't doing shit. So they can go. But this refrigerator pickle mix, again, 2 tablespoons of this, 2 cups vinegar, 2 cups water. Bring it to a boil. I let it simmer for like 5 minutes on a very low heat.
And they're better than any pickles you can buy.
We used to buy. Those was like a local flea market in Long Island City.
Like Pickle Me Pete.
Pickle Me Pete, and pickles were good. Don't get me wrong. Now in retrospect, a little salty, but they were really, really good. These are like what we call the half dills because they were nice and crunchy. They were still half sours.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Using this as a refrigerator recipe now, everything I read online said, oh yeah, let your pickles pickle for at least 24 hours. We tried them 12 hours after, and they were spot on. Now you can cut them in spears, you can cut them in rounds. My first batch I did both. I guess I had a quarter or a half gallon those containers. They're large enough. Maybe they're a quart and a half. You need something that you can seal in the fridge.
I think they're a quart.
You need something you can seal in the fridge so odors don't get in and odors don't go out. So I have some Tupperware-like containers that I use. The spears, I personally think cutting them as rounds, like the style you would get at a hamburger joint, right? I thought that or chips. I have to call them chips. Pickle chips. I felt they came out better. They were they pickled quicker, and you can keep them in the fridge. Everything I've read for up to 2 months. I don't think they last longer than about half a week in this household because it's a low calorie way to enjoy your garden. And
very nice at night.
Very nice at night. A little snack maybe in the afternoon. And really, you can't beat homegrown produce. We picked blueberries today. More than just 1 or 2. We probably picked 2 or 3 dozen ripe blueberries. Not enough to do much with it besides ooh and ah. Oh, this is really cool.
Enjoy them in hand. You know? Yeah.
A few small strawberries. Like I said, a few small grape and cherry tomatoes, and about maybe a half dozen smaller cucumbers. I was picking some cucumbers yay big. Now I'm picking cucumbers that are normal size big. But it's the season, and but today was hot.
Yeah.
So there are things I want to do in the garden that I can't do at the moment because it's just too damn hot today.
It's supposed to get cooler in the week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be able to do then.
So, continuing the weight saga. I'll be honest with you. It was such a bitterly hot and humid week. Even the days that didn't pass, maybe like 85, 86, were so humid that you just felt the clamminess on you the moment you stepped out of air conditioning. That I didn't do any exercise My exercise is walking down to the pub and walking back uphill. All right. So now, Rach and I, we both have our Apple
Mine's only
Watches.
the pub and then like going down a couple of flights of stairs and up a couple of flights of stairs
Oh,
for
that-
laundry.
Yeah, well, that all right.
Uh-huh.
The stairs too. Did we get the new? We have the new AC. I haven't installed it yet. The one in this room kind of works. I'm realizing compared to other ACs, kind of stretching it. But the room, if I was going to do my VR working out, I have to get the AC there started about a half an hour before I got into the room. And not that it's a bad AC, it's a decent AC. It's just the room set up, and that room doesn't have a doorway. It has two curtains covering the archway. It was a great plan and made a lot of sense when we had the contractor in 10 years, 10, 11 years, I guess 10 years ago to do the work. However, we weren't thinking about
Cooling the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried portable ACs, and portable ACs are not worth the effort unless you really can't get something into your window.
But I think that the blackout curtain
Helps. No,
and the cotton curtain are fine, but you would need the two of them.
I would need to have them, and I would need to have the AC going for maybe not half an hour, 20 minutes to get it, because that room will heat up. Even though it doesn't get direct sunlight. It's just that it doesn't get much circulation.
I'm doing a Zoom yoga in there tomorrow.
We'll have to get your AC up and running ahead of time. We have the new AC is sitting in that room, the yoga room. So we'll push it to the side tonight so it's out of the way for Rach. Because and I know. So now I'm looking at my weight, and I'm not seeing anything that says to me, "Hey, you're holding on to water." I'm seeing, "Hey, you're not fucking exercising." I think the BTUs.
I have no idea.
You know what? The one that we currently have, I don't know the BTUs. I'll be honest with you. The one I have now, I literally bought, doing the math in my head, 15 years ago, I guess. I was home, out sick for 11 months. I was fighting Hodgkin's. I was on chemo, and the AC that was built into the wall, one that could actually cool off 3 rooms, died with that horrible spark and shudder. So,
oh really?
Yeah, and it was like 97 degrees by 10 o'clock that morning, and I could not handle the heat back then at all. So I ran out to one of our local electronics chains, PC Richards, and bought whatever the fuck they had.
Yeah, I guess that's only in our area.
Yeah, PC Richards is Metro New York. So I bought what they had. And that machine is what we have going right now. It's a Friedrich. It has
this one's a Friedrich?
Yeah, they were all Friedrichs or old ones.
This one, though?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know from the abuse my son put it through. But my son had this as a bedroom for a number of years. And he really abused the shit out of the fucking AC. But it needs to be put to pasture. Now, here's the thing. In New York City, you have to have whether it's a refrigerator or an air conditioner, you have to have them drained of the cooling gases. So you have to basically put it out into your alleyway, call the city or 311, and arrange for them to drain it. Now, they got to drain it. You got to bring it out to the curb. They will drain it of the gases, and you bring it back to your alleyway to sit and wait to a recycling day, which for us would be Fridays. So I had it in the alleyway.
Oh, this is great.
Waiting to be given a day. And I told you before, we live in a 2-family home, so my mother's outside putting around, and this van pulls up, a white van, unmarked. Woman comes out, and it's a heavy air conditioner, and she just lifts the air conditioner up from the alleyway and starts walking it over to the van. And one's like, "Oh, thank you, sir." Mother's like, rings the upstairs doorbell, telling me, "Oh, sanitation came to take the air conditioner." I'm like, "I don't think they came. I don't have a date yet." "Oh no, but this woman just took it." I go,
and that's not that. That's somebody else taking what they wanted and
Yeah.
needed, and
I personally think that either somebody's going to try to repair it, or they're going to try to take it from a metal scrap. In any case, it's no longer a problem of mine.
Oh, right, because the back of it is all metal. So
yeah. All right. So this room here for number of BTUs, I think the new AC is 8,000 or 8,500. If it's this room here's the issue with this room. It's not a large room. Pretty much you're seeing most of this room on camera, but to this side we have
it's a sliding solid wooden doors.
Well, yeah,
they're not hollow in there.
No,
that's what I mean to say.
They're not heavy wood. So here's the deal with this. This house was built in 1905 or 1909, depending on which paperwork you look at. Because yes, that is our Dutch shelf, and there's a tin ceiling on this, and there's a hutch built into the wall. So it's good quality. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when this house was built, it had coal heat, gas lighting, and coal heat. So you had the kitchen is off to that side. So you would have a coal stove in the kitchen, a coal stove in the front of the house, and what was historically the living room. The two rooms adjacent to those rooms were open like this. Occasionally,
there were like railroad cars, behind us.
Right. So there
used to be a door beside this.
Well, they put up curtains back then.
Beside this Dutch shop. Right. Beside this, built-in.
There was never doors here until we.
No, there was a door.
Oh, door back. There was a door.
I'm sorry. I'm pointing and it's going all sorts of wrong. It's
back there. That used to be a door. So that leads now to the yoga room. We have an archway going to that from the hallway. So the thing is, that was a bedroom that back then only got heated by the two ends of the house. So that was the last room to get heated, so it bled heat from two sides. So although we have these doors here, we generally don't close. I mean, we don't slide it all the way closed. The cat has to have a free range. So this room cools off slower than it should. Maybe the new AC will rectify that a little bit. I'm not too worried. Now, we're also on the second floor. This house heats up like a bastard.
It's a brick house. So
well, it's not
kind of brick.
Yeah, it's got
not brick on the side.
No, it's stone foundations and it's wood. It actually has tree trunks in the basement that the first floor sits on top of. You can see the original coal bins in the basement. It's amazing if you love your history.
Well, but I thought it was brick underneath the tiles.
No, just a stoop.
Oh.
So here's the thing. The heat rises in the house. So like downstairs, my parents do something similar to how this house was heated back in the early part of the 19th century, or 1900s. They have an AC in the living room on the one end of the house. They have an AC in the kitchen on the other end of the house. And they have those two ACs going, and it cools the whole floor.
Really? It goes into their bedroom?
Yeah.
And stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. So it cools the whole floor. It's almost like having central air. Up here, we would need real central air to have that effect because it just generates too much heat rising, and we have an attic above us that traps the heat. So it's a losing proposition for us to try that 2 AC solution. And if I try to have 3 ACs on, and these 2 ACs, by the way, are on the very best, like energy efficiency, you want to be all the way to the left, and the latest one can't be more left, and the other one is $2 from being all the way to the left, the new one in the bedroom. So they're going to be very efficient. But this house is also not wired the best way. So I
don't think we had Johnny fix the electric parts.
But here's the thing. With this house, with our old air conditioner, we were very likely to pop the whole second floor's electricity if you had 2 ACs going. We don't have that problem with
we had it happening all the time when Chris was here because he was always running his computer.
Yes.
air conditioning.
Oh my god!
The TV.
My son moving out cut my electric bill nearly in half, and that is not a joke. And I love him dearly.
Baby.
So, but yeah. So yeah, by the way, I'm drinking the red wine because I'm trying to keep my blood sugar controlled. Rach doesn't believe me, but I think it sounds good.
Maybe I should do some to cross cancel the ice cream.
Enjoy some wine, Rachie.
That's nice. I like the Pinot Noir.
Yeah, it's not. The insulation is better than it was. Siding put up, I guess, 40 years ago when siding was put up, insulation was put up along with that. We are attached on one side, so I guess some ways you leach a little heat off your neighbors. All the windows are new. Now, here's something that I learned.
They're like 10 years old.
They're new. They're double pane. These are insulated windows.
Yeah.
When I was growing up in this house, that tells you something. Every window in this house would rattle, and we have a Long Island Railroad about a long block away. But what would happen would be the railroad would come by, especially a diesel train, and the house would shake, and the windows would rattle, and be. So, and why were they rattling? Because glass is a liquid. We don't think of it being a liquid, but glass is a liquid, and over the course of 100 years, the panes of glass had thinned at the top and gotten thicker at the bottom.
Really?
And they were loose on top.
Huh.
Very interesting stuff. So,
and that's what you found when you removed the old wooden and glass windows.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I think when Johnny, we have a family friend that does a lot of the work around our house when we have work done. He was building us a closet, and he went into the wall in the room behind us where that window was, and they were still the counterweights in that wall from the original windows. These lead weights weighed like, I don't know, 25, 30 pounds.
We have those in Connecticut too.
So when those weights, I know we had one that from one of these windows, it fell. You heard it go.
Yes. And then the window would never, raise right. You always have
you were done.
Yeah.
You were done. Now, back then, we also had storm windows.
So
storm windows was the attempt to insulate when you really.
That was the double pane.
Yeah, that was your double pane. Double pane in the ass. So,
So we're happy with these ones.
Yeah. I mean.
And they have legit screens. Where I lived in the Bronx, we didn't have. The buildings don't have screens in the window.
That's right.
At all. And I could never find a screen that was small enough to fit in the bathroom. So a bat got in one night. I'm on the toilet, and there's ugly. I hear something behind me. I'm like, what the? I didn't realize at the time it was a bat. I just got up and flushed and ran out. And so I was like, I'm alone, but I'm a big girl. I'm going to go and look and see what this thing is. There's this membrane-y, little bat. So I ran downstairs to a big guy and his wife. And she was like, okay, get your gloves. And he had these gloves that he was able to catch the bat with.
Yeah.
But before that, I made sure that I locked the dog in the bedroom so that she wouldn't be able to get at the bat, and the bat wouldn't be able to bite her. God forbid rabies, So, it was scary, and it was so bad because I guess the bat hid out, and the guy's like, "This is crazy. There's no bat." I was like,
there's a bat in here.
There's really a bat in here. And then we heard it moving around, and he's like, he looks, and he finds it, and he took it outside to release it. There was a nest, I guess, in the roof of the house next door. And so I never opened that bathroom window again. And I lived there for like 2 or 3 more years.
Wow.
So that bathroom window always stayed closed. There was no ventilation in it, and the other windows I could, because you have the screens that you buy in the hardware store that
Right.
slide and adjust, but there was never one small enough to adjust. So
now
the weird things of New York City living.
So we have screens in our windows that are full window size. However, I actually bought those insert screens because our cat likes to go in the windows, and I don't want her jumping and clawing at the window screens. So the screens kind of prevent that. So it's a bit of a cheat, but I'm happy to do that cheat. So now I have a doctor's appointment coming up next week. My doctor's appointment this week, by the way, was with my endocrinologist. And when the doctor tells you that you are one of those rare patients where I just step back and let you do you, because you doing you is doing well, I was like, all right, thank you. I want to hear that something similar when I see my my heart failure specialist that's coming Tuesday. But I'm going to see my heart failure specialist and be like, hey, last time I saw you, which was, oh my God, last fall, our last appointment, we had a snowstorm, so I didn't see him. So we actually did it by phone. Last time I saw him in his office was probably last October. And since last October, I probably put on 10, 12 pounds. Now, I know why I'm putting it on now, okay? Because I'm not cooking like as much as I used to, and I'm not working out as much as I should be, or getting the cardio in. So I know what it is, but it doesn't make it any better. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying I know why. It's not the excuse. I know why. So that kind of sucks, because you want to be on that same agenda.
Yeah, it's almost like when you leave the primary care or whatever doctor that you're seeing, and they when you feel their investment in you, you want to make sure that you're doing everything right.
Right.
That you could tell them what you're doing. And, that's the reason why I reconnected to primary care that way. So that, because I knew I was healthier when I was doing the primary care, and I was more on top of, what am I doing?
Well, but not only that, like I know with the recent weight, I'm not the only person that's put on 5 pounds this summer. We both have.
Yeah.
So, and why would we both be putting on weight? We both eat the same shit.
Yes.
If we're eating well and healthy,
yep,
then
we lose together.
Right. And if we're eating well and unhealthy,
we gain together.
We gain together. So, I mean, that is, that to me is telling. Mm-hmm. So, again, it's easier to, I think, eat healthy when you're with somebody, but at the same time, it's very easy to fall off with somebody else when the world doesn't conform to your needs. If it was 10 degrees cooler, I'd be like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, my friend Zach isn't on, but I'll go on and play some VR racquetball and get a few matches in, as opposed to, holy shit, I just made breakfast, and now all I want to do is go back to sleep and take another nap. Not the way to be. So I'm going to have to adjust that. But the summer ain't going to get any cooler for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bitch. So I'm going to have to adjust. And I used to enjoy, thankfully, listen, our dog, she loves her walks. She doesn't love to heat. So, and she's paper trained. She's trained for her weeby pads. So, none of us are going to enjoy going out in 90-degree humid heat and going for a walk. Maybe tomorrow.
She'll do it at night, or in the evening, when the streets are less hot.
Right, because the streets are hot. We also forget, too.
Or the parks, the pavement in the parks gets very hot. And sometimes they don't want them on the grass, So.
Well, here's something that we also... well, thanks, Richard. You're making me feel better. I can, and by the way, you're also making me do math, which I'm sorry is unfair. Not that I've had that much to drink, but still, it's not fair. Listen, even today again, we had my unofficial birthday celebration, And it was fun food. It was burgers. It was Frank's, and I had them unbunned. I wasn't like going. It's my birthday. I'm gonna have fun. And Carvel ice cream cake. And I didn't go back for seconds, but I didn't cut myself a sliver either. So.
Yeah, we were good. We didn't go back for seconds. We had to offer. Oh, we take it away. We're like, please
take it away. So I mean, little things. I'm not going to be going to my doctor's office on Tuesday and be going, "Hey doc, I'm down to 200." Be like, "Yeah, doc, I'm back to like 223." My low is like
and he's gonna have some good feedback. So you know what? Let him give it and run with it.
Clover, yes. When you stay in a real diet, you can lose significant amount of weight. And the moment you get off it, it does rebound, which is why I don't like to look at what I'm doing as a diet, because could I stand to lose I don't know, 50 pounds? Definitely, at least 25. I'd love to get down to under 200.
Okay.
But I also know from my own experience, when I've done the diets that have gotten that weight off, it's always come back with a vengeance. I'm trying to do more of a lifestyle change of eating less of the crappy food, eating more of the better foods for you, cutting out the salt. I don't add salt to anything that I cook.
No.
So we get incidental salt from other meals, but I don't even own salt in my kitchen. Which
it's been banished.
So
even the little Himalayan salt that people.
Yeah, no, we don't even have that. And and I get recipes from Home Chef. We get 3 meals a week from Home Chef. And here's the thing with Home Chef: a lot of times they're like, "Oh, we have this packet of spice." It's almost always got salt, but I will sniff it and taste it like I'm in some bad 1980s cop show, tasting the cocaine.
What's in the bag?
Oh, that's cocaine. That's cocaine. That's talcum powder. No, I'm trying to taste what spices they're using, and then I go to my spice rack, and I've got most of the stuff. I can usually go, hey.
We have a very extensive spice rack.
Took forever to take it off, and 2 days to gain it back. Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. Certainly. And you have to remember, too, I'm somebody who I'm supposed to weigh myself on a daily basis. Because it's congestive heart failure, if you are seeing...
And you are very consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll see myself, and I'll look at myself and go, all right, so right now, oh my God, I weighed in at 225. A week ago, my weight was 223 and a half. Fluctuated in between, right? But I'm looking at where was I a week ago? Where am I now? Yeah, I'm putting on like 1.5 pounds right now a week. Summer might put on 10 pounds at this rate for me. And it'll probably take me until Christmas to get that weight off, let alone try to get past where I need to get past. So, we got to find a way to get some, like Rach is doing yoga in the morning. I got to find ways to get myself to the point where I can motivate myself despite the heat to do a little VR working out. It's really...
Well, maybe on Wednesday when I'm not working, you could show me how.
Slightly.
Yeah.
And if Rachel likes enough, I buy her own kit.
Well, that we could do it together, but
you do it together. It's hard to do it together with one hand.
No, I know.
And so actually, some of our friends have their own. Couples have their own sets. Kendra and Rocky each have their own VR headset.
Oh, okay.
Just something to think about, darling. Something to think about. So, now I'm going to delve into real quick, like mind space, or I guess mind health. I find I am in a better mind space or mind health when I am getting projects done. So we got Torchlight 1 released last Monday. That follows up on Torchlight Premiere, which I consider to be like the ash can. You collect the comic books in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like the ash can edition. This is that, that was like a 16-pager.
Ash can?
Ash can. It's called an ash can. I don't know why.
Like ashtray?
Yeah, I guess so. Ash can. But, so we got the first issue of the zine out earlier this week, 32 pages. We are working on getting Swords of Wizardry Continual Light put out in digest size. That's an OSR rule set based on Swords of Wizardry, but it's really stripped down. I'm very proud of it. But we want to get digest size. I got James Spahn doing content. I got James Shields doing a cover. I'm excited about these projects. But I find that I need to now get ready for the next projects. Torchlight issue 2. Start creating content for it. Something we're calling Pub Crawl. These small, going to be like a 4-page digest-sized adventure. Like it's like a one sheet, but it folds over, so you can put into your box if you have the Swords of Wizardry box set from the recent Kickstarter. That's going to be like impulse buy pricing, $1. I'm not doing this stuff to make money off it. I want the creators that are doing this. The people that are involved in the project beyond me to be making the bulk of the money. I just want to get enough money to keep these projects running because it keeps me involved. It makes me involved and it gives me something to work my mind. So it's a certain mind health. You've got to be involved. Now, we're talking about downsizing Rach to allow her to take a lot of yoga classes to get further certifications with the idea of teaching yoga in the future, which means downsizing her part-time employment now even further. And my mother had a concern, and I'm sure many of us have had these concerns. Some of us, and here's the concern. My mother saw my father retire at the age of 57, 58. He had an early buyout from the phone company, and they bridged his Social Security and whatever. And he was like, "I'm leaving. I'm never gonna get this deal again. I gotta go." All right. And he didn't know what to do, so he talked about, "I'm gonna drive a school bus." He hated kids. He wasn't the personality to enjoy little kids running around in the fucking school bus. He'll turn into the one from South Park. He was gonna get a dog. I'm like, "Pop, you don't like dogs?" Because the dog would get him to take all these walks multiple times a day. And for the first 6 months or so, he was a miserable fuck. And then he found two things. He found painting. He found painting was very good for him. And he found metal detecting or beach hunting or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And these hobbies...
The beach hunting.
These hobbies became driving forces for him because he had nothing to do with his time. Now, when I retired, I was already doing a blog that I was posting on multiple times a day when I was working, and I was podcasting on occasions at that time. So when I retired, my mindset automatically went to, let me do a project involving gaming. Let me get this, I want to get a Gorilla OSR rule set out where we could get a one-page, one sheet. People could just pick it up and be reintroduced to old school gaming. And I became Swords of Wizardry Light. Not quite what I initially envisioned, but certainly more than I could have hoped for. I was able to make that transition. I never defined myself as a cop. I certainly respect the time I did with it, and I enjoy the connections I've made because of it. And I have great memories of being one, and I am proud I was one. I'm a retired cop now. That's a good definition to have. But I see myself more as a creator and somebody involved in the gaming community on a positive way. That's how I define myself. So I didn't have this crisis of identity when I retired. My mother was concerned that Rachel would have a crisis of identity. But Rach doesn't define herself as a social worker or necessarily as a future yoga instructor. I like what you defined yourself as, Rach.
I said that, I identify myself as a healer. Whatever modality that might be, whether it's through yoga, whether it's through social work, whether it's through Reiki, whatever the vehicle of like trying to heal people and help people feel better and be more adjusted and more comfortable in themselves and in their life. That's what I've been sent to this earth to do. So I can see how it might change over the years, how I use that, how I put that into action.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I've mentioned it on this cast yet, but when I became a cop, and being a cop, did it change me? Certainly, it does. Yeah, it has to. The experience, what you experience, and what you have to deal with on a daily basis. The mechanisms you have to put in place to shield yourself from what you're seeing and dealing with certainly changes you. But I went into the job with the idea that if I change one life for the better, I've done a good job for my 20 years. I know I changed at least one life for the better fairly early on. So around 4 years in, I got to know that. I also know I got to save one life. Totally inadvertently, not planned.
Never is.
But I got to save a life, which balanced out the life that I was not able to save. These were both children. And I like to believe that later on in my career, when I had to deal with people that were pending termination from the NYPD, that I was able to help some of them make that transition by keeping them grounded into the reality of their situation. And I always was trying to be empathic, not necessarily wasn't sympathy, it was empathy. There was a difference between the two. And I think that you have to remember that. But, you have to set these things for you. Like, now, people are going to go, well, if that's the case, how do you see yourself in the gaming community? Well, part of what I do is this. Part of what we don't do this because we're getting paid for it, we're getting clicks for it, we're getting sponsorship for it. None of that. We're doing this because our experiences, our successes, our failures, life knocking us down, us picking ourselves up and getting knocked back down again.
Being who we are,
being honest.
Sharing that with other people helps other people too.
Yeah.
And it helps us.
Hey, Brie. But seriously, that to me is why I do this. Why I do any of this stuff. People are like, well, why do you get all upset about Kickstarter scammers? Because they're fucking with my community. Okay, I don't like people that prey on the innocent, and gaming has a lot of willfully innocent people who want to believe it's butterflies and rainbows out there in the gaming community. Nobody's looking to empty their pockets fraudulently.
Are there certain traits that we will always hold from what we did for a living for so long?
Yeah.
You did it for 20, I did it for 25, and you don't lose that way of like dealing with people or that passion of like protecting, like you have that protective element for the community against people who
prey on it.
Yeah, who are trifling.
Yeah, I mean, I
for lack of a better word.
I worked the South Bronx in the late 90s and the early aughts. I got promoted in 2002 and I went to work in Harlem for 2 years. I've worked in areas that some people would consider to be the ghettos, and it was the best experience of my life as a police officer because the work I did was truly respected and appreciated. So, Clover, thank you, and Rich,
Yes.
thank you, and Rich, honestly, all right. We have a voicemail. I don't usually put it up on this because usually we have, I guess, a lot of your chat coming up. But it's 347-509-5168. If you want to leave a message, please feel free. It can be about gaming. If you don't want it on the air, we don't put it on the air, but we do listen to it. All right, we read all the chat here. We listen to everything that people leave us, whether it's there or an email or a Facebook message, because you don't know if you're touching people without feedback. You can hope, but you don't know. And Rich, I live in New York City, and I haven't gamed within the confines of New York City physically since Rach and I, shortly after we got married.
When did we go to the Gamers Guild? That was after North Texas. So it was probably like 2015 or 16. We went into
the one day of gaming.
That place down by the Bowery.
The library or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or down by
But I was doing that gaming one night a week shortly after we got married.
Yeah.
Down by work.
Yeah.
And I did some physical gaming a couple of years ago out in Long Island, but I don't generally get together with people physically. I'm in New York City. You're like, why is that? Because there aren't too many old school gamers in New York City. Everybody's playing 5e. That's my perception. So I do a lot of gaming.
Is that what's going on at the Gamers Guild?
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
Oh.
But most of that was 5e though. But here's the thing. I'm going to try to get myself with my old gaming group to game with them at least once a month by the end of the summer.
With the boys.
With the boys using Roll20. It's my old group from... We broke up as a game group in '97, but we still remain good friends. So we want to get back together and try to get the band back together. But if that works out, I'll probably try to do a second group once a month via Roll20 or some similar VTT. And if I do, remind me, I'll send you an invite. All right? Because that's how I got back together. Most of my gaming these days has been via VTTs. And if you get the right group together, honest to God, if you can get the right group together, and I've been part of the right group in the past, it feels like you're gaming at the fucking table. And it's the same shit. It's the same. The only thing you're not having is somebody with greasy, nacho stained fingers on your book. That's all you're missing. Well, you're missing me taking the ring dings and cheese whiz.
Ew.
I told you that story.
Yeah.
This is back in the day.
Childhood memory.
We were in college.
High school?
We were in college. And, we were always playing practical jokes. And one practical joke that I did was, back when the ring dings used to come wrapped in tin foil in those boxes, I bought the box for the boys. I was at my house. And I bought squeeze cheese. Easy cheese. And I took 2 of them out of the box of 8. And I filled them with cheddar easy cheese because I'm not a total ass. I wanted most of them to taste good. And here's the thing: when my friend Paul ate it, God rest his soul, we lost him on 9/11. When Paul ate it, he was like, "Oh, his face was perfect, right?" Everybody else is having ring dings. Nobody else has gotten a bad one yet. I haven't taken one yet. He goes, "What's the matter?" Oh, it's awful. Oh, it must have gone bad. I'm just like, what are you talking about? So I reach in. I don't know which ones are the bad ones. I reach in. I get the other one, the other goofed up one. And I kept a straight face as I ate the whole thing. Because you got to keep the joke going, man. You got to keep the joke going.
Cheesy chocolate.
Oh, yeah. We were asses, but we were good asses. We did it well. So, I mean... little things can help you.
You know better than to do anything like that to me. I can't stand.
No.
Something's not right. She's like, nope.
She'd smell it from a mile away. That's my problem with Rach. She's like, this doesn't smell right. Here's
if it does, get it out of here.
All right. So here's a Rach secret. Rach does not like mayo on her food.
Oh.
Okay. So, I'll order Uber, right? And I'll order like Whoppers, and I'm like, no mayo. And it's a Whopper, but with cheese. I say, I can't eat this. I'm like, why? It's got mayo on it. It's like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, they marked it for no mayo. It's got mayo. What's
I think
this?
It's got mayo. It's light in color and creamy looking.
Uh-huh.
And it ended up being the cheese. I was like, what's going on?
I was like, if you want me to eat your Whopper for you, I shouldn't, but I probably will. But yeah. So I get to play jokes without even playing jokes. I don't have to try. Rachel plays them on herself.
I get paranoid about that.
Folks, seriously, I mean, this is my mental health. All right, this is where I get to talk about stuff that isn't about drama and gaming, or about the numbers, or about what I'd like to do, or theoretical stuff. No, I get to talk to you all with my wife, my best friend, my better half, and we get to spend a real hour that, if you live nearer to us, we'd be all spending this at the local pub over a few pints and some chicken poppers and mozzarella sticks. But instead, we're doing it this way, and I got a glass of wine, so it might as well kind of be the pub, right? Honestly, seriously, thank you. This is where I got to thank you for my mental health. Maybe Rachel's.
Yeah, definitely.
I look forward to this.
Yes.
Every freaking week. It really is something very special, and I can't thank you enough. And I've been looking at the traffic for the Gamers Health cast, and they've been nearly double what they have been. So we're doing something right, and I think that something right that we're doing is you. Hey, look at that. My finger stayed up on the screen. I did it at the right spot. But really.
Wait, what do you mean stay up on the screen?
Look, I was going to go you, and my finger would fall out. Because I'd be out of the camera range. I did it.
Oh, so you knew to go
you, yes. You. And that one I got to kind of screw around with. But in any case, you're the reason. It's all of you. You're the reason why we do this. We're not just talking into the air, talking into the wind. And whether you're the live audience, or whether you're those that come along and listen to this later on and leave comments after, by the way, please leave the comments after. We read them all. They're very important for the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't. Again, that's huge. We have had an amazing month and a half between June and the first half of July when it comes to subscriptions to the YouTube channel. I am stunned. So please, we'd like to hit 1,000. We do have good plans when we hit 1,000. More karma, more giving back to the community. Just got to figure out how to make it work, but we always figure that stuff out in the long run. On that note, we're hitting the hour mark. Holy crap.
Really?
Yeah. See, I told you, Rich, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. Now she knows why me and Mike can talk for 2 hours on Wednesday. Jeez Louise. Yes, I know. Folks, neither Rach nor I are medical professionals. However, I'm immunized. Rach is immunized because we have comorbidities. For us, that was the correct choice. I'm not telling you what your correct choice is. You know your situation. You know your health risks better than anybody else. Speak to a medical professional. Ignore the talking heads. Whether it's us, whether it's somebody else on YouTube, whether it's on CNN or Fox or MSNBC or your local news, they're all fucking talking heads. Seek a medical professional who doesn't have a vested interest in you as a consumer. They want you as a healthy individual. All right? That's what you want. Seek their advice. Okay? Be safe. Be well. God bless each and every one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. One night, Rachel and I will tell the story where she threw me under the bus as we were going through pre-marriage counseling in the Catholic Church. But suffice to say, I am ordained multiple times. We will touch on that story maybe next week if you remind us. Remind us in the chat. Yeah. Remind us in the chat if you want to hear how Rachel threw her prospective husband under the bus with a Catholic
And
priest.
without even knowing, because I didn't know jack shit about Catholicism.
Makes no difference. She threw me under the bus. Remind me next week if you want to hear about it, folks. I'm more than happy to get my bit of blood back. All right, folks. Thank you so much. God bless. We're out of here.
Take care.
Next week.
Bye.